everyone. We are the Gratitude Girls.
The Gratitude Girls are in the house. Hi, Laurie. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Kathryn?
I'm good. I'm really excited to be here tonight because this is a hot topic. We're going to give 5 minutes of high value coaching. Do you want to share the topic or shall I?
I'll share the topic and then you can go ahead. But
Okay, go
yeah,
ahead.
so have you ever had the need or the desire to fire a client? And if so, how did you do it?
Right. Okay, so let's talk about that. You know you have to fire the client. That's it. We can coach you and train you on how you arrive at that decision, but we're going to go right into the decision because this is where the value comes in with the coaching. And we're going to give this to you for free tonight in 5 minutes. I'll introduce myself. My name is Kathryn Sarah Myers, affectionately known as Rara's in the house. I'm broadcasting to you tonight live from lovely Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, Canada. And I'm here with my amazing partner, Laurie Delcradecki. I know that you're typing. Laurie's doing the tech and she's in, I'm going to say Columbia, Tennessee, but that's not true. Is it?
It's Spring Hill now, but it's right
Okay.
next door.
Okay. Spring Hill, Tennessee. So how do you fire a client? All right. Well, think about when you're speaking clearly to someone about something and you want to make sure that the information comes straight. So you think about that scenario and it's time to let go. Perhaps the situation is just not a good one on both sides. So here it is, you have to do it. We'll talk about face to face, in person is what I meant to say. And then we'll talk about how you lead up to that. So number one, make an appointment. Set a time aside like you would for anything else. It's business. Create that schedule, request the time, and schedule it so that it is as professional as any other appointment that you make. The same professionalism that you make, that you take to create an invoice, the same professionalism you take to present that invoice, to do the pitch, the way that you want those appointments to go smoothly, it's the same way. You want to make sure that you have your client's full attention and that they're not distracted and they don't misunderstand that this is just a friendly meeting. It's a business meeting, and even if you have friendly meetings, it's a good idea to have an agenda. So number one, set the meeting. Set the meeting with an amount of time that makes sense. I would recommend that you don't make it your usual 1 hour session if that's what you have. Do something that is significantly different about that meeting time. So either make it 45 minutes or 30 minutes or 25 minutes so that they will recognize that there's something different, but yet it's still an appointment time. That's number one. I recommend using a digital calendar so that you're not making an appointment with yourself. So when your client sees that appointment, they'll understand, if you do use a digital calendar, that it's another appointment. When you set what it's for, in our case, it might say coaching and training. So it could be another term so they don't think it's a coaching and training call. So they don't think it's a design pitch call. You can put review, 30-day review, 60-day review, 1-year review, whatever that is, a review. And I recommend you build these reviews into your client schedule so that it doesn't come as a shock. It's not a bad idea, if you think you'll have a client for a year, to do a 3 and 6 month review to make sure that you're on schedule. If you have never done that, and this is the first time you just want to go walk right in and you're going to fire the client, you'll need to have some transition narrative. So I'll let Laurie talk a little bit about this next. So I'll highlight what we talked about. Set an appointment, use a digital calendar, set a time that's a little bit different what you normally would do. Hopefully this is built in as a review. And during the review is a good time to have an escape clause, because during the review, the client could leave and you can leave. But if it's a case where you're firing the client because it's just, too much of one thing or the other, and it's outside the parameters, and perhaps you're not meeting the expectations or they're not meeting your expectations, then it's time to step in and do that. All right, Laurie, do you have any other suggestions to add to that?
The biggest thing that I have is just to be ready. to be ready to, one, make that commitment because that's something that you've decided that you need in your life. Two, to be ready for the either begging or backlash, B and B. So they may either beg you to keep them or they may backlash you. And either way, just know that all the "you are amazing, you are wonderful, you are incredible" texts and emails that you got even the day before, those next emails that are backlashing you, don't take those personal. Because it's just that they are taking personal that you are letting them go to help yourself as well as help that client. Because if you don't feel like that client is a fit for you any longer, then if you kept them, you're doing a disservice to not only you, but to them also, right? So you're letting them go is being a favor to them. But so just be ready and just let go and don't let those things follow you and stay in your head, throw that salt over your shoulder and be firm in your plans.
Yes, I like that. Those are great points. There's an emotional readiness for that. So if you're looking at business and you're saying, well, why would I fire a client? We'll coach you on that, but the time is here, the time is now. You're going to do that. Think about if you've never done this before, you might want to rehearse. You might want to check with us and chat with us. If you have done this before, you might want to record yourself and listen to how you sound, because you still want to be perceived as a professional. So I recommend that you practice, you rehearse, you know how you're going to speak, be clear, give both parties a chance to talk. And if your business allows you to have built-in checks, then this won't be so catastrophic for you. If you have 7 sessions and then you review and then you onboard again, or you have 20 sessions and maybe that's hours or maybe that's days, and then you onboard again, you're able to check. So if this is the first time and you're finding this to be very daunting, think about building in checkpoints with the clients for you and for them. Get feedback, ask for feedback. Is there any impact? If so, can you please explain to me how has that changed your life or your business? And when you're doing that and you're checking, you know where you're at. And then you measure. And if the day comes where everything is changing, then be very clear and make sure that you do that in a very professional way. And make sure that the money issues are straight and that they're, if anything, you can always put them in the client's favor if you want to put a little extra time with that, because you're probably in a time money situation to begin with. That might be the reason why you're actually there. So another 5 more, 15 minutes or 20 minutes isn't going to change anything. Always be generous at any point in the situation, because you never know where your next client is going to come from.
Right. Yeah. And that's it. Exactly that. The person that you are firing or letting go, if you do it the right way, they could still very well refer you business later because they might not be happy in that moment, right? Just like when you discipline your child or you ground your child or you take a toy away, they might not be happy with you in that moment, but later they're going to thank you. When I was a teenager, I wasn't happy in the moment of my parents being very strict on me. But later in life, I was very happy and thankful that I didn't have near as many regrets in my life that I know some of my friends that have told me some regrets that they have. I wasn't perfect by any means, but so like that, they might not be happy in that moment, but they will thank you for it later.
Yes, and it could turn into a referral. So when you're firing a client, think about how you look, how you sound. Contact us. We'll run it by it. We'll run it through with you. You can run it by us. You can practice, hit the record button, listen to yourself and your voice, and be sure that you have time to look at the camera if you're on Zoom, look at the client, read their body language, and leave it on a good note. Firing isn't a bad thing. Letting go and moving on could be a good thing. So think about it as everybody gets to move on. All right, if you have any questions, I think we can be open for questions. We have a Try Us On for Size 15-minute call that you could start with us, or you can jump right in and ask us, how do you fire a client?
Yep, absolutely. So go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/gratitude girls, hit the message there, right there, send us a message, or you can also email gratitudegirlscoaching@gmail.com. That goes to both of us as well. And let us know what your questions you have. You can comment below this video wherever you see it, whether you see it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, the podcast, wherever you see it. Make sure to give us a great review if you found some value, share it with a friend, and let us know your questions and how we can help you, and get with us. We'll talk to you later, everyone.
Ciao, thank you.